keep holding me down. Yeah. 수면위로 비추는 이 세상을 봐. No. You can never know that.
Oh yeah, there you go. Compliments to the chef. If you remember in the last video we made the Thai lob, and I needed some sticky rice to toast as well as to cook on the side. Well, I got this about a 2-kilogram bag of sticky rice, and I was looking up other things that I could do with it. And I came across a recipe for a Korean drink called Makgeolli. It's technically fermented rice, kind of like a beer, or some people may call it a rice wine. Apparently you can easily make it at home in about a week. So we're gonna do a little experiment this week, and I'll show you every day a little bit of the progress until we're done. The recipe calls for a kilogram of rice. So you can see the water is a tiny bit cloudy, but it looks pretty good. So we're gonna let this rice sit and absorb this water for another hour or two. We're just gonna let this drain for a few more minutes before we put it in the steamer. So we're just going to go ahead and check the rice, see if it's cooked to the right amount, and then we'll let it cool. While the rice is cooling, I'm going to get ready with our starter, and this is what they call a nuruk, which basically is dried wheat, and the starter enzymes, I guess bacteria, all the nice fermenters are mixed together in this powder. Sometimes you can get it in brick form as well, and most recipes call for anywhere from 100 to 250 grams for every kilogram of rice. And yeast, this will help also to improve the fermentation and make it a little bubbly. Okay, we have our cooled rice here, and we're gonna mix that with our starter. So I'm just gonna transfer that all to a bowl. Just gonna sprinkle in our starter. That was about 100 grams, give or take, of nuruk plus 1 packet of wine yeast. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3. Well, I got about a liter of water here, and I'm using bottled water because just even the small amount of chlorine in the tap water could be enough to kill off some of your starter. So we're going to combine this until it's absorbed most of the liquid. So we're going to put it in our fermenting vessel, which today I have a big plastic Cambro. And we're just gonna set it in there, and then that's pretty much it. All right, so just gonna load this up. So this is the end of day one. All the rice has been cooked and mixed with the starter, and 1 liter of water. That's 1 kilogram of rice and 1 kilogram of water. So there's a good amount of moisture in here, even though it looks really dry. Hopefully, as the fermentation breaks down the rice a little bit, it'll start to create more alcohol and it'll end up in the bottom. All right, but we're just gonna let this rest for about a whole day. I'll come back tomorrow afternoon and we'll take a look and see what's going on. All right, see you guys tomorrow. All right, so you can see, let's take a closer look here. The rice has separated now. You have a little layer of liquid and some sunken parts of the rice and the floating part of the rice. And this morning there was a tiny little space there, and I stirred it up, and then after fermenting for the rest of the day, more of the liquid has settled out. So I'm going to give this a stir. Just to get the stuff that's on the bottom mixed back in, and the stuff that's been floating right on top, mix that back in. After one day, we've got a decent amount of fermentation. I can definitely smell the conversion going on there. I got a big hit of alcohol when I lifted the lid, and you can smell like that fresh baked bread, that very yeasty aroma. So it's also coming from the rice. Taste test. Definitely get that little effervescent tingle. There's definitely a strong booziness to it developing now. The rice flavor is there, and you definitely get a sweetness from the rice sugars breaking down due to the amylase that we added in the nuruk. And then, but it also has a little tinge of acidity. And I don't know if that's just carbonic acid from the fermentation creating the alcohol and the carbon dioxide that makes it a little sour, or is it starting to ferment in the wrong way and creating vinegar? Most of the recipes I've seen go for 5 full days. Let's check on it again tomorrow, and we'll see, is this ready to strain it and start drinking? All right, see you guys tomorrow. Let's see how things look today. Well, it is still quite bubbly. Probably not as bubbly as it was yesterday, so I think things are starting to wrap up. But I don't think it's quite done yet. It definitely looks a little bit more liquidy today. So let's do a quick taste test. Ooh. There's definitely more alcohol in it. And it's not very sweet at all. It's actually quite dry now. You still get that ricey flavor, but it's actually got a little bit of bitterness now. Interesting. It's not sour, and that's what you're worried about if it's starting to go bad. So I think we should let this keep going a little bit longer, and we'll check on it again tomorrow. See you guys later. Our little experiment, I believe, has stopped fermenting. There's a lot fewer bubbles now, and it's just a layer of liquid now on top, and the rice has settled a little bit more. So I'm going to strain this out. I got 2 layers of cheesecloth in a bowl with a strainer. When you're going to bottle, use a soda bottle, because they're designed for pressurized liquids, and since this is still sort of fermenting. If there's any more residual sugars in there, it'll still can produce some CO2, and then you don't want your container to explode. So I got my nice funnel there, and we're just gonna give it a little stir because you want to get some of the solids that have settled at the bottom to get into every bottle, because that's part of the flavor. Well, here is all of our finished Makgeolli. It took 6 days to get here. Still gonna bottle age these a little bit more in the refrigerator, but what I have left here, we're gonna give it a taste. So traditionally you wanna get a little bit of a stir because it will settle out a little bit. Let's give it a taste. It has no sweetness at all. It is quite dry. And I did wait until all the bubbles stopped, and it doesn't even have any more of that effervescence. So I'm pretty sure this is fermented to completion. You still get those ricey overtones. I mean, that grainy flavor. But it is just quite boozy. It's got a little bit of a acidic component to it, but it's not sour. It's got some body to it. It feels like it expands a little bit in your mouth as you taste it. But yeah, it's definitely alcohol in this, that's for sure, because I can feel that. I have a feeling this will go great with some Korean snacks. So I'm gonna let this bottle age for a couple more days, and I'm gonna go pick up some snacks, and we're gonna test this out again in a little bit. All right, see you guys in a couple days.